Hey guys, Cloudwolf here, and I'm back today with another video. And I'm gonna so I have this platform here, and wait, what was that? What? Cloudwolf, why are we walking backwards? Um, um. Okay, guys, so that was just kind of a silly introduction. So this is for a system that I created to have an NPC follow you at pretty much any range. These commands here are what will be in the description. You can get these commands in a one command creation, or you can download the game loop, the function files, and I'll show you how to do those. But I'm going to show you first how to do this. So I'm going to remove the game role, game loop function false, scoreboard. Okay, so now it's not going to follow me. So this is our NPC. So say you want a system where the NPC follows you. It's pretty simple. There's about 14 commands here, and I'll explain what they're doing. This is the basic version, so it doesn't have the facing backwards help. So this one, as you can see, the NPC is doing exactly what I do, a little bit delayed, so about a second delayed. And if I walk like this and I go into F5 mode, he's just going to follow me like this. He'll jump where I jump. He'll climb up ladders when I climb up ladders. But some people thought that it was a little weird that when you walk, oh, and see, he'll fall down too. Some people thought it was weird that if you face him like this and walk, he'll do that. Of course, if you do this, hold on, and you just turn around, he'll be facing you. So yeah, some people thought it was weird, so I added a whole bunch of other commands that I'll show you just briefly, but I won't go over, that make it so that he turns around when you're walking backwards. Anyway, so this is pretty simple. The actual commands that make it happen are only 4, and then there's a lot of stuff before it to detect it. So there's a scoreboard called move. I have one generic scoreboard called move, and it's supposed to just test whenever the player's moving. So whether I'm walking like this, or I'm running, or I'm crouch walking, or I'm jumping up a block, or I'm falling down a block, or I'm climbing up a ladder. All these different things are methods of movement. So if any of those happen, I'm going to get 1 on my move score. This is checking if I'm running, going to give me 1 on the move score. Checking if I'm walking, going to give me 1. Checking if I'm sneaking, going to give me 1. And this checks if detects if you're in the air, and it gives you 1. This checks if you're in a ladder block, and it gives you 1. So that's just setting up to see if the player's moving. So now, and it also makes sure that you have to have a tag of leader. Just keep that in mind. So make sure you do scoreboard player's tag, and then whoever it is, add leader. There can only be 1 leader with this setup. Anyway, so if the leader's moving, then it will activate this next set of commands. So these ones happen if the leader's moving. So if you're moving, it's going to summon an area effect cloud that is basically invisible. It has no particles. It's just a point. You can't see it. It has zero radius. It's just sitting there. Way less lag than using armor stance. And it doesn't have any gravity either. So it's going to spawn those, and it's actually spawning quite a bit of them as I walk. Exactly where I walk, really fast. Then it is adding to every point a point score of 1. So it's going to spawn a point, then that point that it spawns is going to have a point score of 1, but then the point that spawned before it is going to have a point score of 2, and the one that spawned before it will have a score of 3. So you basically have a bunch of dots around your map that are going to have numbers listed from 1 to whatever number I want. So it'll go, the one closest to me is 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. Okay, so it's just marking points. Oh, and I think I took his head off. Okay, let's put his head back on. Okay. So it's just marking the points. Then what it's doing is it is teleporting the point that has exactly 1, so the one that just spawned, the one at your feet, to the leader. So it's teleporting it back to the leader. That way the point that spawned faces the same direction the leader is. It has teleported the leader to face the same direction. Then it is teleporting the specific armor stand that has a tag of stand. So the one that you want to follow the leader has to have a tag of stand, or you can just change that if you want, to the point that is at 10. I can change this to be the point that is at 20. That's what I'm going to do right now. So 20, so you want it to teleport to the last point. Then you're going to kill any point that is above the last point. So 21, is above 20. So it teleports to the one that's at 20, and if there's any that are above 21, at 21 or above, it'll kill it. And so now you'll see that he follows at a further distance back if I change it to 20. And then if I change it to, let's do something ridiculous like 50 and 51. And that's the configurable part. As you can see, he follows from a way further distance. That is a lot more stalker-like. But he does exactly what I did. So I'm going to change this back to 20 because 20 is good, and that is what you guys will be able to use. And 21. So that's all that happens when a player is moving. And then the rest of these commands are just resetting the scoreboard for run, the scoreboard for walk, the scoreboard for sneak, and the scoreboard for move. That's it. That was pretty simple to go through. Not that complicated. Now I'm going to show you the function version. And hold on a second. So here we are in the functions, in the saves, and then we're going to go into this new world, and then we're going to go into data, and then we're going to go into functions. So this is the functions, NPC. I added a couple things. So we have backwards, general, and walk. To make it into function, it's pretty simple. General is just all the commands you saw. It's going to first be all the commands to test if the player's moving. And then it's going to run this function called NPC walk, and then it's going to reset all the scores. So in the NPC walk, all these are the functions that go into NPC walk besides this one. So all the rest of the functions besides the one I highlighted, all the rest of the, besides these two, are the command blocks that I showed you with, as you can see, the 20 and the 21, teleport to the leader, add 1 to the point. All these are going to happen before it comes back and resets this. Now, I did also add all these ones. This is to detect if a player's backwards, which it's a little bit complicated, but it has to do with raycasting, so I might as well talk about it a little bit. So it's also adding 1 to the leader on point. I didn't want to make too many scoreboards, so I didn't want to make it too complicated. So it's also using point for the leader to count things. So if the point score is at exactly 1, it's going to summon a raycasting boat. That's what this is. And then it is going to teleport the boat to the player so that it's facing the player's direction. And then it's going to shoot the boat forward. That's what this third one is. And it's going to constantly shoot the boat forward. And then once the point gets to 30, so after 30 ticks, it's going to kill the raycasting boat and then set it back to zero and resummon it. So it's just shooting a boat the direction the player's facing every second and a half. If the boat is within a radius of 2 of the armor stand, it's going to play the backward function. The backward function is going to kill the boat, and it's going to set the backward score to 40, and it's going to tell this little text that says, why are we walking backwards? And then it sets it to 40, that way it doesn't spam it, and that way it's not every second and a half it says, why are we walking backwards? Instead, it'll be every like 2 seconds, it'll say, why are we walking backwards? Now, if there is any backward score, so if it detected that you're walking backwards, what'll happen is it will teleport all the points 180 degrees, so it'll flip the direction of all the points. So, basically, if I'm facing this way, just so you can get a little visual representation, it's going to spawn a boat 100 blocks in the air, going this direction, that way. And if it is above the armor stand, then it'll trigger this event. And I think there's a boat up there from when I stopped the game loop function, so I should really be careful about doing that. Anyway, so that's all there is to this one. Pretty simple. I'm going to be using it in Quantum Labs 2. Maybe not the backwards thing. I don't think it's a big deal. But I'll probably be using it for Alex in Quantum Labs 2. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out Quantum Labs 1 and play it. Sadly, Quantum Labs 0 got deleted. But that's a whole nother story. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.